So this video is going to be a bit controversial and it's probably going to make a few people mad. I mean, maybe honestly a lot of people mad, but it's the truth and the numbers prove that it's absolutely true. Retirement, as we have all been taught, is a complete lie. Now, some of the younger generations have figured out that it's a lie, but most haven't. And if you're over 40 like me, the retirement we were taught was a complete and total lie. So let me ask you this question to kind of illustrate this point a little bit more. Are you on track to retire or not? And be honest, guys, be upfront. Do you have your house paid off, or you're on track to have your house paid off, and you have $1.8 to $3 million in the bank to be able to retire at 65? Very few people are on that track to retire the way we were taught, because it's a lie in the first place. And this applies to you young guns out there and folks approaching retirement age and everywhere in between. The idea that you can live the American dream and retire at 65 is simply a lie, and that is because the American dream actually keeps you from retirement in the first place. You cannot retire if you have a nice car in a nice neighborhood, 2 cars, 2 kids, 2 dogs, take nice vacations, eat out at great places, and all the other perceptions of living your best life or the American dream. Math doesn't work out no matter how you slice it, and I'll prove it right here. The average kid costs just over $30,000 now annually to raise, so that is $60,000 a year right there off the top. The average mortgage right now is $1,700 per month or $20,400 each year in order for you to have that mortgage. And then the average car payment is between $525 and $729 a month now. So we will use the lower number, and that is $12,600 right there in car payments. So we are already over $90,000 per year without even considering food, your bills such as electricity, water, gas for your car and your gas bill potentially, car insurance, healthcare costs, which are in the thousands each year, and that's just kind of the necessities. And I know I missed a few, but it's not including fun stuff like vacations, kids' sports, birthdays, and Christmas, and eating out and going to the bar, and any of the number of fun things that we like to do, all your subscriptions, all those other things like that. By the end, we are well over $100,000 per year, and there is still more to include, but I kind of think you get the point right there. How the heck can you save up to $1.8 to $3 million after you pay out all of that? I'm sorry, but no matter how you slice it up, the American dream prevents you from retiring, and the math proves that. This is the big lie that nobody wants to talk about, because the American dream is kind of woven kind of into the fabric of us here in the US culturally. And honestly, really the rest of the world has kind of bought into it too and kind of adapted that into kind of their dream life scenario as well. But it's all a lie. The math tells me it's a lie. And even if you don't want to believe the math, the mere fact that so few people can actually retire on time or are on track to retire on time tells the actual truth of what is going on. And here is even more data. The baby boomers only have on average $202,000 for retirement, so kind of as a whole, they are never going to be able to retire using the traditional system because they don't have the $1.8 to $3 million in order to retire. But that is why this channel exists right here, to show you that even with a small amount like that, or even smaller, you can retire and still be happy. And if you guys out there are young and watching this, you don't have to buy into the big lie, but instead you can carefully craft your early retirement or financial independence, which is how I like to phrase it. That way you too can enjoy the freedom of choice that retirement or financial independence grants you so much faster and sooner than us old folks here. But for those of you guys that are older like me or even older, don't worry, you can get there too on a lot less. So what are your options to retire early if you're young, or if you're older, to be able to retire as soon as possible? Well, the good news is I'll be doing a series of videos deep diving and laying out the exact step-by-step process, exactly how to do this. So make sure you are subscribed to catch all those videos in that series, along with other money-saving tips, investing insights, and stuff like how to increase your income as well. But today, I'm going to give you 3 things to start with right now. So number 1 is to completely forget everything you read or heard about retirement and open your mind instead. You have to drop the idea of the American dream and a traditional retirement from your thinking and open your mind and let the math and odd solutions, they're going to be odd, guys, but you got to look at those odd solutions that will take you to an actual true retirement. But the beauty of it is, when you do this, you find you can live the American dream in a sense, but without the expense. Now, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense given everything I said, so let me give you an example right here. I personally live in a 7-figure home on the beach completely for free. That's right, I pay nothing, nothing comes out of my wallet, period. So how the heck does that work, you may ask? Because I house hack and my tenants pay the bills instead of me. So I'm kind of living the American dream without the price tag, but I had to open my mind first to make choices others would never make in the first place. Maybe you know some folks that are doing that, but I don't know anybody else that's house hacking to the degree that I am in order to live that dream. So how much less do you need in retirement if your housing costs are absolutely zero? I mean, no mortgage, no taxes, no insurance to pay, nothing. That pretty much changes your retirement math drastically. And the earlier you start this, the more income you will have later in life, the more you can invest throughout that time period, and just as important, the less you will actually need to retire. Number 2 is to get very comfortable with being weird. Remember, culturally, we are almost wired to think that a big house, 2 cars, 2 kids, and all that stuff is how it's done, and that's what normal people do. Which, another way to say that is, you're normal if you want to work forever. But we want to retire, so we have to do things differently, which means you're going to be weird. And it also means you're going to have to endure lots of questions, and you will probably also come across a lot of judgment, especially from family and friends. The question you got to ask yourself is, do you want to be like them, or do you want to retire? And if we're being honest, guys, a good family and friend member will support you instead of degrading you or, not making fun of you, knocking you, whatever the case is. And if they are doing that, you might really want to consider that relationship if they aren't supportive, or at least understanding and not judgmental towards you. And number 3, don't shoot for the traditional retirement because it's rooted in the American dream in the first place. And let me explain this with a very simple example that I see all the time. The number one thing that retirees want to do when they retire is to travel, but so few actually do it. This is because they follow the traditional retirement plan of having a big house when they retire and 2 cars in retirement, which makes travel that much more difficult. If most of your retirement income coming in is paying bills, it makes it really hard to travel. And then it's even harder to leave your big house empty and your car sitting in the garage for 2 months while you go explore another country, for example, or even just explore this country, for example, for a couple of months. You will feel like you're throwing away money having to rent another place and pay for your big house back at home. The American Dream retirement actually traps you in your home instead of giving you the freedom that you actually wanted in the first place. So congrats on retiring, but instead of being bound to your job, you graduated to being bound to your actual house. And that's not exactly what I would want in retirement. Stop believing the big retirement lie and follow me on your journey to a real retirement. And this video here provides you with your first action steps to save more money to help you get there. I agree our system is broken, and this channel is about showing you the real truth about finance, retirement, and entrepreneurship, so make sure you subscribe whether you're 25 or 65, this applies to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.